Professor Okere's ideas, line of thoughts rather, because they're all saying the same thing basically, but the line of thoughts just differ a little bit. And Professor Okere made it very, very clear that the same thing we talked about, that juris and prudentia, we've already talked about that under theirs, but that Roman jurisprudence looked at Roman law looked at jurisprudence as a sort of thing that you find from the depths of philosophy, requiring you to examine human society and the human mind. And as such, Ulpian, for example, defined jurisprudence as knowledge of things human and divine, the science of the just and unjust, which is actually a very wide and compendious definition. As such, you could pick up from Okere's approach, you could actually pick up a few definitions by different schools of jurisprudence over time to enable you try to distill the important elements of jurisprudence. For example, we cited more than 10 different definitions, a lot of definitions. I think Austin was saying something about jurisprudence being the science of positive law that considers law as it is without reference to its rightness or its rightness or wrongness or morality or non-morality. That's a positivist talking. And then Austin and Holland also, who's a positive, also said something about jurisprudence being the formal science of positive law. So for positivists, they deal with the positive aspect of the law, while the naturalist, which is one of the first things you study within the Nigerian curriculum, the history of jurisprudence through the various schools, like the natural law school, the positivist school, the sociological school, the economic school, the historical school. You look at all that. So each of the schools have their own different definition of jurisprudence based on their focus. Roscoe Pound will talk about engineering society, social engineering, and the role of the law in engineering society. So all these things are important, but like Professor Okere made it very clear that sometimes definitions may not bring out the very essence of a subject, and for that you need to be able to understand the nature and the scope of jurisprudence. But there are very certain difficulties that you associate with defining jurisprudence, because for example jurisprudence also has to do with the totality of law, and law itself is full of ambiguities. So you will discover that in trying to define law, the ambiguities keep creeping in, which you have understood if you looked at the nature of language, the issues about language that Diaz also talked about in his work. Now, other problems of defining with jurisprudence has to do also with the fact that jurisprudence is dependent on other disciplines. It depends a lot on other disciplines like philosophy, sociology, and they're interrelated. So these topics, you need to be able to understand what these areas are talking about before you can actually, to a large extent, define jurisprudence. And then also because of the fact that a lot of the words that are used in jurisprudence are value leading, or what Diaz calls emotive. They carry little emotive values. When you think about things like justice, you think about things like rights, duties, all those things have their own emotive content. That's why, for example, if you come to the theories of Hans Kelsen, he will tell you that justice is an irrational preference. That's a preference of people, personal preferences of people that do not have any basis in rationality. So those are things you will realize that there are some things that carry emotions, and so the pure theory of Kelsen try to remove all the emotive elements in law and definition of justice. But having looked at that, if you're thinking about the nature of jurisprudence, Professor Okere also outlined certain very important things you need to know about jurisprudence. For example, jurisprudence deals with rules of external conduct of human behavior. It talks about what people ought to do and what they ought not to do, like a prescriptive kind of science. And then realizing that this rule has to do with external conduct, it's also related to other disciplines and sciences that deal with human behavior, that examine human behavior, like philosophy, like psychology, like sociology, ethics, morals, and the rest of it. And then it proceeds from this assumption that society, once there's a society, what we call in the Latin phrase ubi societas EBJs. That's the EBJs. That's once there's a society, there has to be law. Society has reached a certain level of development must have law to guide the activities of that society. Based on that, the jurisprudence will be thinking about looking at solutions to how society has to be ordered and made to work properly. And as such, it doesn't really study the specific problems that the society has to, the particular solutions that society brings about, but it looks at the ways and the method that society solves its problems of social ordering and social social functioning. Then jurisprudence also deals with the issues of legal concepts, analysis of legal concepts. It's not talking about what is the law of thought, and this is talking about what is the essence of, what do you mean by ownership, what do you mean by legal personality. We know, yes, human beings are persons, so where does the law come in to create artificial persons like a company and the rest of it? Jurisprudence is interested in such questions. What are the attributes of ownership and possession? You say, if you own something, you have a power to destroy it. Now, jurisprudence will want to know why that is so. So it also analyzes such legal concepts. Finally, before we end this discussion, we'll just point out a few relevant important things about why jurisprudence is very, very important and relevant to your study. There are a lot of factors that have been outlined, but we'll just take up one or two of them. You could look up the rest. Now, when you think about jurisprudence exposing you to the wealth of intellectual ideas that have actually been thought out by great thinkers in the past and which has actually helped to solve society's problem, you see that when you're exposed to this wealth of intellectual contributions, that your mind is broadened, your scope is broadened, and you're able to better appreciate some of the problems that meet with societal organization. Also, you think about the fact that the questions that have been dealt with in jurisprudence are very, very, very important questions that have led to very deep ideas that has actually helped to move society forward, and it's important to be able to be exposed to this world of ideas. And then when you think also about the fact that in jurisprudence you learn how to master language, you learn how to use language and logic properly, you will find that it also has a very important role to play in your ability to properly think and your ability to be a good lawyer in the long run. Now, for a practicing lawyer or for a judge, you know that what we call locus classicus cases, that's case of first instance. Now, when a judge is met with a case of first instance, or a lawyer who is arguing a case that is coming up for the first time, he has to be able to delve into his arsenal of jurisprudential ideas to be able to find which way to guide the court, or which of the theories to actually adopt to solve the problem. And you will realize that even in Nigerian jurisprudence, there have been a lot of lawyers, very wonderful senior advocates who have been able to chart a new course. I think I still remember the case of P2B and INEC, which had never come up before the court, and then my principal in chamber then was able to come up with a novel, that's the senior advocate on was able to come up with a novel solution to the Anambra State electoral crisis at that point. And another great such locus clausus cases by different senior advocates and beautiful and very intelligent judges and justices in the Nigerian legal system. Well, like I said, there are a lot of other relevant applications of jurisprudence, but I'll have to stop at this point. And remember to subscribe to the YouTube channel, and if you're interested in having the full discussion of this topic and subsequent topics that we're dealing with, you can get in touch with us and we'll find a way to get it across to you. Thank you for listening, and see you some other day. Bye.